जागो 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 कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। सहस्त्रार में आके, सहस्त्रार में आके छू ही लेंगे वो हम आसमां। जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। मूलाधार में तुम बैठी हो माँ, सदियों से तुम सोई हुई। मूलाधार में तुम बैठी हो माँ, सदियों से तुम सोई हुई। इच्छा हुई पाले तुझको, इच्छा हुई पाले तुझको। हासिल हो तुम जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। समा जाओ माँ मज्जा में अभी, सभी चक्र तुम निरंजित करो। समा जाओ माँ मज्जा में अभी, सभी चक्र तुम निरंजित करो। गणेशा स्वयं पूजे तुझको, गणेशा स्वयं पूजे तुझको। शरण में तेरी जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। सोई आत्मा में प्रकाश भरो, जो बिखरे हैं चित्त एकत्रित करो। सोई आत्मा में प्रकाश भरो, जो बिखरे हैं चित्त एकत्रित करो। तभी दूर होंगे अंधेरे, तभी दूर होंगे अंधेरे। रोशनी में तेरी जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। सहस्त्रार में आके, सहस्त्रार में आके छू ही लेंगे वो हम आसमां। जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। जागो कुंडलिनी माँ, करो सब पे कृपा। करो सब पे कृपा। करो सब पे कृपा।
Shree Mataji, we start now.
Give me 1 minute.
Shree Mataji,
Rishma, my earphones are causing a bit of trouble. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay, okay.
Just Mataji to everyone. Just Mataji to everyone. Is my voice audible?
Yes, Bhaiya. It is good.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, one and all, to our session this morning. We are having these sessions every day, twice, in fact, for new seekers to learn what is Sahaj Yoga and get the experience of self-realization. The idea is to talk a little bit about Sahaj Yoga and then do the experiment of Kundalini awakening and self-realization in this session. This is a one-off session where we have in English because we got a lot of requests from seekers that they wanted to understand in English as well. We have another session like this at 8 in the morning on Saturdays in Marathi language. The rest all sessions are in Hindi. In the afternoon, we have a session at 4:15, and in the evening, we have a session at 7:45. All three sessions are essentially about introducing you to Sahaj Yoga and getting the experience of self-realization. Apart from these three, we have one session going on every day at 5:30 p.m. for seekers who have now understood the basics and want to go deeper into meditation, where we have a meditation session and then we have Shrimataji speeches, etc. Today, we will have a little bit of discussion about what is Sahaj Yoga, how our subtle system looks like, and then we will go for the most important bit of it, the meditation, self-realization part. Post that, if you have any questions or suggestions, or you want to have some um, not suggestions, but let's say you want to share your experiences, you can do that by joining in the Zoom link, or you can leave your questions or things you want to share on the YouTube chat itself. So without any further delay, let us start the session. The photograph that you see in front of you is of Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi. Shree Mataji Nirmala Devi started Sahaj Yoga in 1970. It was an experiment for her to see if Amas people can get realization, and she managed to do it. Thousands of people all across the world, hundreds of thousands have now got it. So people of all countries, all religions, all types, whatever categories we define of human beings, they all are doing Sahaj Yoga and can get to it. This is completely free of cost. There has never been any charge in Sahaj Yoga for getting your self-realization. There is no course as such that you may find in some of the other organizations. And the reason behind all of this is that, first of all, this is completely invaluable. You cannot pay anything that would match the the value of something so great as your Atma Sakshatkar self-realization, which has been Sri Mataji's thought process always, and thus Sahaj Yoga has always been free of cost for everyone. The other part about Sahaj Yoga that is to be understood is there is no real course that you have done now 3 weeks or 4 weeks course and now you are certified as a Sahaj Yogi or a realized soul or anything like that. This is a living process, Jivant Prakriya. For example, when a seed is put in the Mother Earth, you cannot say that on this day at this time the seed will sprout and become a tree on these after these many years and then you will have fruits. Nobody can do that because living processes happen spontaneously on their own, which is what is Sahaj Yoga. We get our own certificate, we get the vibrations, Param Chaitanya flowing through us, and thus we know for ourselves where we are, in what situation we are, and we know that we have it, we don't have it. It is an amazing thing to get. This is a new awareness we are talking about, something that has not happened till now, and something that is not outward. For example, you don't have to wear different clothes or you don't have to act differently. You are completely normal people living in your households, but getting to something that is of a very higher spiritual value, of a higher awareness. You get to that awareness and lead a more balanced, beautiful life. So, in a way, in a nutshell, in Sahaj Yoga, there's nothing to be really changed in your lifestyle. There's nothing to be paid. There's no course to be done. There's no organization as such. Then the question arises, how does it happen? We're talking about something very big. Atma Sakshatkar, Kundalini awakening, self-realization. These are big, big words. Then how can it happen to us and how does it happen? So you'll see in life, everything that is very vital, that is most important to happen, is all available free of cost. For example, our food has to get digested. It happens on its own. We don't do anything specific for it. Or let's say we have to breathe. We don't have to go to libraries and read books to breathe. These are all living processes, spontaneous, built in within us. In the same way, we have been built in like this. For ages, the work has been done through our evolutionary process to bring us up to this stage where we can get the highest, the one last breakthrough that is still left. So if we look at our evolution process, let's say, then we have been searching for something or the other all the time. And as animals, we were at a lower end of the search where we will maybe learn, searching food or shelter and things like that. Now we have evolved into human state where we have gained a lot of understandings. We have so many things that we have built from, using our brains that are amazing to look at. That we have so many arts forms, so much emotions, so much understanding. Collectively, we are as a race, we are understanding so many things and accepting them. And just we can see how much higher we have risen from that. But still, we feel that there is something still lacking. There's so much tension these days. Everybody you go to, they'll talk about 10 different tensions. And life is so stressed in jobs and families, monetarily, or something or the other, some physical ailments, something or the other is always there. And then we hear about so much bad news all around us. You open a newspaper and then you will get such a shock of everyday life. You can't believe these things are happening in the world. Then one begs the question, then are we really there as the God Almighty? If there is one, people always question that also. Then has he made us just for being like this and left us as we are? So the answer is actually no. There is one more breakthrough left, and that is our evolution in terms of our awareness. Evolution now will not happen physically, will not grow horns or anything. Evolution now is to happen in our awareness, in our chetna, where a new form of awareness has to come to us. So this happens through self-realization. Now, the mechanism inside of us has been built in. And when that happens, Kundalini awakening happens, we actually get connected with the divine. We've been hearing as kids, our parents have been telling us, at least in the Hindu religion, that God is everywhere, kan kan mein Bhagwan, and so many things that we have heard of. But we have never really felt it. We have the bhakti and shraddha and everything, and we've been doing puja path and vratupas and so many things in the name of God. But if we are being completely honest, we would accept that we have actually not felt it physically on our nervous system, the power of God all around us. All the scriptures have talked about it, so many references have been made. Now, the Shree Mataji's blessing, now is the time to really prove all of that. For the first time, we feel the all-pervading power flowing through us. When it starts flowing through us, we feel it in meditation as cool breeze. This is Param Chaitanya. This has been called as Salilam Chaitanya by Adi Guru Shankaracharya. He says in his book named Saundarya Lehri, which means beautiful, Lehriya means vibrations. You feel Mother's grace dawn upon you in form of Salilam Chaitanya. That means cool breeze. It's been called as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost in Bible. People do not understand what is Holy Ghost in Bible. Then it has been talked about in Quran as when Qiyamah's time will come, your hands will speak and will give witness against you. These are amazing things to be referenced, but very, very less talked about because people do not understand. So what happens when we get to our self-realization is that this power starts flowing through our hands being the endpoints of our nervous systems. And we feel these vibrations and we feel what chakras are not okay inside of us. We know our own situation, our own self, where we are for the very first time. It so happens that, let's say there's an egoistic person and he's blundering about hurting everyone around him with his words, with his actions. We can never really tell him that he's egoistic and he's doing that. But as and when he would get his realization, his one chakra's finger would start burning and then we can decode it for him that this is for this chakra. So it means that he would know himself that he's egoistical. Similarly, for physical problems, we do not know that we are having physical problems until we go to the doctors and he tells us that you have so many days left to live. That is because we know nothing about ourselves till now. So in meditation, first of all, we get to know ourselves. With these vibrations, we can know about others. Anybody sitting across the world, we can know about them. We can take our life's decisions with these vibrations. In absolute answers, we get the vibrations coming in our hands and telling us what to do, what not to do. We can even cure ourselves and others with these vibrations, as in when we grow in Sahaja Yoga. There are various uses. It's like talking about getting connected to God. We've been praying to Him, worshipping Him, not knowing if He's listening, wondering why He's not answering our prayers. That is because we have not been connected really. Once this connection is established, then one phone call does it. There are various things to talk about as boons and benefits of Sahaja Yoga, but the most important thing is to really get to it. Many people get their realization in the first attempt and they feel the vibrations, but they do not understand the importance of it. This is something, the most important thing in our life. This is the goal why we've been made, the fulfillment of our life and our desires. Today, we think we'll get a better life if, let's say, we get better monetarily, or I have stress now. If that goes away, I'll be better off. Or, or let's say, if my family life improves, this will my life would succeed. So we go on doing that one after the other, one after the other, and we keep on realizing that nothing satisfies us really. Nothing takes us to a place where we are peaceful and satisfied. The reason behind that is until we get our self-realization, our ultimate goal, the pure desire that is built within us, we will never be really satisfied and at peace. This is the pure desire inside of us, as we talked about. Now, there are too many things to talk about, and in Sahaja Yoga, there's just so much knowledge with Shree Mataji's lectures out there that one can easily go and learn more of that. But for a basic introduction, this is quite good enough. What we'll do now is talk about our subtle system briefly. We have seen this picture now quite a few times. I'm sure most of us have. It has become very famous now, with India spreading its message all across through various channels. People have started talking about chakras and the Nadi system quite a lot. Having said that, nobody really talks about awakening the Kundalini. Inside of us is a power of God Almighty that has created us. This power Kundalini is actually the reflection of the Almighty's power, that is Adi Shakti. She entered our system, let's say, when we were in our mother's womb, 2.5 months old, and it entered from top of her head. There's a what we call as a fontanelle bone area. In small children, we have seen this area as very soft, lub tub, doing like that, because they have still that connection established, and that is why we call them as Bhagwan ka Roop in Indian culture, but they are gods themselves. Once you are connected with him, that is what it means. This power entered inside of us and got refracted into three parts, our brain being a prism shape. The power that came from right went to the left, that came from left went to the right. The one in the center created all of these chakras within us, which we see as flowers of different colors here. And the energy that was left came down and settled in our sacrum bone. This bone is at the end of our spine, being called a sacrum, which means sacred. Now, this power comes down and takes 3.5 coils. Coils is called as kundal in Sanskrit, which is why the name Kundalini, because she is the mother power. She's our individual mother. She's been with us all our lives. and she knows everything about us. Her only goal is to give our self-realization. As and when we grow up, when we were kids, we were very innocent. As and when we grow up, we develop our ego and so many things inside of us that come up and that shroud, or let's say that calcify this area, and that connection is lost with the all-pervading power. Raising of Kundalini and establishing that connection again is self-realization. With this happening, our spirit comes into our attention, and we are no more a disintegrated personality as our Atma, our spirit, takes over. Atma inside of us is the reflection of Paramatma. Now, these chakras that have been created and these nadis that have been created are essentially running our complete self. So, our physical body is governed in the gross by the plexuses that are expressed in gross by these chakras. Our mental and emotional beings are also governed by these chakras and these nadis. And so is our spiritual body. So everything about us is actually governed by these chakras and nadis, and getting them back into order can put us back into order. So what we'll do is quickly talk about these nadis first. On the left hand side that we see in blue is called as the Ida Nadi. This Ida Nadi is responsible for all our emotions, all our past, everything is taken care of by this channel. On the physical side, it takes care of our sympathetic nervous system on the left hand side. So people who are very emotional, who always think of the past, go into depression, all of that are working too much on this channel. In Sahaja Yoga, we understand that overutilizing of any part, any energy center or the nadis gets them into imbalances, and that is how we develop various diseases. For example, this particular channel, when overutilized, creates psychosomatic diseases inside of us, which are normally called as incurable. This is also called as moon channel. Because of overutilization, this gets cold, and thus we develop these problems inside of us. Similarly, on the right hand side, what we have is the Pingla Nadi. This is called as the sun channel, Surya Nadi. This takes care of our sympathetic nervous system on the right hand side. All our activity, whether it be physical or mental, is done from this channel. People who are working too much all the time in the offices, workaholics, or people who are very aggressive, very ambitious, always thinking of the future, because the nadis are futures nadi. They all work too much on this channel, and it gets overheated, and we develop various physical problems. We can feel the status of these channels on our left and right palms in meditation. In the center is Sushumna Nadi. This, you can see, is the path for Kundalini to rise up. Sushumna Nadi takes care of our parasympathetic nervous system. So it's been talked about, by various gurus and real ones and incarnations in the recent past to stay in balance. For example, Lord Buddha always has talked about being in balance, being in the center. So people who lead lives too much on the left or on the right often find trouble getting their realization easily, because we need to be in balance for Kundalini to rise up. We can even see in an aeroplane, if the wings are not balanced, it will not rise up. Similarly, inside of us, we have to come into balance, and that is only when the path for Kundalini is opened up for it to rise and pierce our Brahmarandra. Now, quickly, we will touch upon the centers that are within us. There are various centers that govern different parts of our bodies, physically, mentally, emotionally. And there are various deities that govern these. Today, we will just talk about the qualities of these chakras in very brief. For example, the first center inside of us is called as Muladhara Chakra. This is the chakra of innocence and wisdom inside of us. So Shuddha Buddhi, the pure wisdom of what to do, when to do, all that comes into us because of this chakra. We get childlike innocence because of this chakra inside of us. If we go against the qualities of these chakras, they get hampered. For example, people who um, take to wrong sexual lives can get this chakra in a bad shape. So we are going against innocence here. This chakra, all these chakras, when awakened, we get their qualities. So, for example, when this gets awakened in children, they have the pure wisdom of what to do in life, what to choose, what not to do. This chakra can be felt in meditation here when where our palm and wrist meet. So we feel all of these chakras in our hands in meditation because in the gross they are taking care of our plexuses, which are essentially our crossing points of nerves. And the end points of these nerves are our hands, which are easy to open up in meditation and see. After this comes the Swadhisthana chakra, which takes care of all creative powers inside of us. So whatever things we do in life, we do the activities or work, or we have different art forms that emanate from this chakra. All of that creativity dynamism comes from this chakra. On the left hand side, this chakra is caught up when we go to some wrong gurus or tantrikas, because this is also the place of pure knowledge inside of us. So everything is inside us, actually. So on the left hand side on Swadhisthana is pure knowledge. If we go to wrong kinds of knowledge, just like tantrikas, this chakra is caught up. On the right hand side, it's very interesting to learn about this chakra. We can see the right channel emanates from this chakra itself. So that means that all our activity actually start here, even our mental activity. So our gray cells in the brain are actually fat cells converted into gray cells by this chakra. So when we think too much, this chakra has to work a lot in terms of providing those gray cells. And thus we can say in a way we think from our stomach. So when this chakra has to work too much on that part, it is not able to take care of the organs that it has to cater to, for example, liver, pancreas, spleen, etc. All of these, uterus in women, all of these are taken care of by this chakra. So people who are very aggressive, working too much, ambitious, working too much on the right hand side are the ones you will see will have liver troubles or diabetes or things like that. Once this chakra is brought into balance, these problems can go away as well. You can feel this chakra on both our thumbs in meditation. Every chakra has left, right, and center. After this comes the Nabhi, the Manipur chakra. This is the place of complete satisfaction inside of us. We see that even with food, we get that satisfaction. In life, in monetary terms, we may get that satisfaction, or in family life, we can get that satisfaction. All of that comes because of this chakra. We become very generous people. Miserly people have this chakra catching quite a lot. Our evolution has also happened because we have been seeking something. So that seeking has come from this chakra inside of us. Ultimately, this seeking takes us to God and our self-realization. So very great boons of this chakra inside of us. This chakra we can feel on both our middle fingers, the longest fingers, on the left and right hand side. Around this is shown as the Bhavsagar, void. This Bhavsagara is, we have heard this reference quite a few times. This is the place of dharma inside of us, the real religion, and that's not Hinduism, Sikhism, Islam, Christianity, etc., but the innate religion of humanity that has been built inside of us. Here, if we go to, because this is the master principle, the Guru Tattva inside of us. If we take to wrong gurus as our gurus, then this chakra is caught up. Even with alcohol consumption, this can get caught up. This can also get sometimes affected when we see something very bad happening inside of us. Yeah, think of puking, let's say. So all of that is built in here. in our stomach. We can feel the status of this Bhavsagar around the center of our palms on both the hands. After this comes the Anahata Chakra, Hridaya Chakra, we can call it. Here is the place of our self confidence and the confidence in the divine that they are taking care of us. The self confidence, um, when affected, can lead to several problems. For example, children who are afraid a lot are the ones that get sick a lot. Women who may have some insecurities built in because of their husbands or family are the ones who may get breast cancer a lot. On the right hand side is the father principle and all the maryadas built inside of us, which tell us how to lead a ideal life of a son, father, brother, etc. Similarly, left hand side is the mother principle. Left hand side is also the place of Atma and love and compassion inside of us. You can feel this chakra on our small fingers on both the hands. After this comes the Vishuddhi chakra. This is chakra that actually takes care of all our communication. So our hands, first of all, our nose, mouth, tongue, ears, eyes, all the external part of it. All of that is taken care of by this chakra. Our face complete. So that means our communication happens because of this. Because of communication, we are collective beings. And because of that collectivity that gets built in within us, we truly, when it gets built in, we know that we are part and parcel of the whole. This microcosm is part of that macrocosm. Once that gets built up because of this chakra spoons, we can see the world as a Leela, truly a Sakshi, a witness. All of that comes into us, these great qualities, because of this chakra. This chakra gets caught up on the left hand side when we feel guilty a lot. When we always say, oh, I am no good, I'm completely useless, I've done this bad, that bad, always cursing ourselves, then it gets caught up here. On the right hand side, this gets caught up when we say this to others. We're always bombarding others with aggression, with our words, or we are using bad words, or when we're taking tobacco, etc. The chakra being caught up is very harmful for Sahaja Yoga, especially because we've been talking about feeling the vibrations on our hands. The nerves of our hands cross from this center. The 16,000 nerves crossing the center, and our hands are also governed by them. If this chakra is not okay, we don't feel the vibrations in our hands. So that is why in meditation we always assert that I'm not guilty at all. Unnecessary, if we feel guilty, we do not feel the vibrations. We can feel this chakra on both our index fingers. After this comes the Agya chakra. This chakra is inside in our optic chasma. There's a crossing. You can see the three channels are crossing over here, and there's a very small space left because of that. Here, the main quality is forgiveness. People who do not forgive others are always catching on this chakra. Also, we can see two great balloons here built in of ego and superego. Whatever actions we do in our life, that gets built up into an ego inside of us. And whatever conditionings, whatever learnings we get in life, that gets built up into a superego. Most of the time, one or the other is sort of dominating. So this path for Kundalini crossover is always constricted. As we forgive, here on the Agya Chakra, Kundalini crosses over and it sucks in both of these entities. Thus, the path for Kundalini to pass over opens up. We can feel the Agya Chakra on both our ring fingers. Now, the last chakra to talk about is the Sahasrara Chakra. The word itself, Sahasrar, literally means the 1,000-petal chakra. If you get the brain and transfer section, you can actually, doctors have verified, this is 1,000 nerves are crossing here. This is the chakra of integration. Once Kundalini passes over this Brahmarandra, as it has been called, which means the whole to meet the Brahma, the divine, then the all pervading power starts flowing through us. All of these chakras get integrated here around this chakra, the star, and we become an integrated personality. We are no longer torn between our heart and mind and all of that we are right now, which causes all the trouble, the stresses inside of us. And pure bliss and joy we get in meditation once this chakra opens up. We feel the cool vibrations of this chakra at the very center of our palms on both the hands. This is the place of Sahasrara. Now, verily, we have discussed a lot, and there's a lot more to be discussed. But for now, this is pretty much it for in terms of discussions. Let's move on to the most important part of the session, which is the self-realization part. Now, we've been made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, and ether. We use these elements in meditation and Sahaja Yoga quite a lot in different shapes and forms to clear ourselves out, because we can be cured or cleared by the things that have made us real. So we'll use a couple of those things now in meditation. You can see the steps that we will do with your eyes open now, and you can do along with us. Post that, we'll close our eyes and go in meditation, and that is when we can do them with prayers. So as a first step, we'll keep our left hand open in our lap, left hand in our lap, and the right hand on the Mother Earth. This is for clearing out of our Ida Nadi. After this, we keep our right hand in our lap and the left hand like this towards the sky. This would be for the clearance of our right channel. After this, we keep both our hands on the Mother Earth. This is the balancing part of it. These are the 3 steps. Now we'll bring both our hands into our lap and keep the left hand as is in our lap and do some more steps with our right hand only. So the right hand comes to our heart. We press it here so that we feel our heartbeats. We have some prayers here. Then we bring it to our forehead, put it across and bend our head a little forward. After this, we bring this hand to the back of our head and push back our head. The last step would be to pull back our fingers completely, and the center of our palm, we put it at the top of our head where we had a soft bone when we were kids, the fontanelle bone area, and we press it. While pressing the hand, we move it in a clockwise direction. We press it hard and move it hard so that the scalp moves along with the hand. These are the steps that we will do. Now, it is easy to understand that just doing some steps and doing prayers cannot materialize something so great inside of us. Here comes the part where we talk about Shree Mataji's photograph. Because her photograph is so special that the vibrations emanating from them actually enable the Kundalini to get awakened inside of us. I always talk of this example because it's always relevant. But Shivaji Maharaj, we know of him very well. Shree Mataji said that he was a realized soul. But he asked his Guru Ramdas Swami, who was another realized soul, how long does it take to get self-realization? Ramdas Swami answered by saying that the time you take from taking your one leg across the horse, so that meant that kshan, that very second it happens. But there has to be someone Dene wala and lene wala. That means somebody who can give it and somebody who can take it. Shree Mataji is here to give it to us. It's just us who have to become worthy of getting our self-realization, the ones who are going to get it. We'll put all our doubts aside, all our questions aside for now. Because let's say this is what self-realization is, then we should not miss this opportunity. But take it with complete open arms and open hearts. Look at Shree Mataji's photograph with complete humility and respect. Slowly we'll close our eyes and bring our attention inside. No other thoughts right now, just one pure desire that we have to get our self-realization. Now we'll keep the eyes closed. We'll keep our back a little straight, not very straight. Sit comfortably. And keep our hands open in our laps. Both the palms open in our laps. Now we'll start with the steps that we had seen. You keep the left hand as is in our lap and put the right hand on the Mother Earth. Here we have to pray, Mother, you can call her Shree Mataji or Mother. Mother, please clear out my Ida Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities and negativities of my left channel through Mother Earth. Shree Mataji, please bring my Ida Nadi into complete balance and take out all its negativities through the Mother Earth. We'll bring our attention to our palms and see what is happening. Now I'll bring the right hand back into our lap and put the left hand towards the sky, bent from the elbow. Here we have to pray, Mother, please clear out my Pingla Nadi. Mother, please take out all the impurities and imbalances of my right channel through the ether element. We must keep our attention on both the palms and see what is happening there. Mother, please bring my Pingla Nadi into complete balance. Now I'll bring both the hands on the Mother Earth. Here we have to say, Mother, please bring me into complete balance. Whatever imbalances are still left, Please take them out through Mother Earth. Mother, please bring me into center, into the present, into complete balance. We shall bring both our hands into our lap. Now we'll keep the left hand as is in our lap as a representation of our desire that we want to get our self-realization. And we'll do the next steps, the actions with our right hand. We'll bring the right hand on our heart and press it so that we feel our heartbeat. Here we have to say one great truth that Mother, I am the pure spirit. I am not this body, this mind, these thoughts, this person, so and so. All of this is actually Nashwar, momentary. The only eternal thing is the spirit, the Atma. So say it with full confidence that Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am nothing but the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. Now, as we are the pure spirit, we have not committed any sin. We have not done any wrong. Leave it all to the Almighty and say with full confidence that Mother, I am not guilty at all. I have done no wrong because I am the spirit. Whatever is done is in the past. It's not the reality, the present. So say it with full confidence. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we bring our right hand to our forehead and put it across like we would when we would have a headache and press it from both the sides. While pressing the hand, bend your head forward. Here we have to forgive everyone. Without remembering, without naming, just forgive everyone. Say, Mother, I forgive everyone. By not forgiving, we don't do anything but play into the hands of people who have done us wrong. But by forgiving, we leave it to God Almighty. Say, Mother, I forgive everyone. Mother, I forgive everyone. Now we bring this hand back of our head and push our head back towards the sky. Hand at the back of the head and head towards the sky. Here, for our own satisfaction, we have to say that, oh God, Lord Almighty, if we have done any wrong against you, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive us. Oh God, we have done any mistakes against you, knowingly or unknowingly, Please forgive us. We can bring our right hand back in our lap for resting. Wait. Now, we bring this hand, right hand, on top of our head at the fontanelle bone area and place the palm, center of our palm at the fontanelle bone area. Pull our fingers back. And with the palm, we press hard on the fontanelle bone area. While pressing, we move our scalp in a clockwise direction. While pressing hard, we move it in a clockwise direction. And we can bend our head forward a little. Here, we must ask for it. We must ask for our self-realization. Without our asking, Shree Mataji cannot give it to us because this is our freedom, our choice to make. So with complete heart and humility, we ask, Mother, please give us self-realization. Mother, please give us our self-realization. Mother, please give us our Atma Sakshatkar. Mother, please give us our union with the Divine. Mother, please give us our self-realization. Mother, please give us our self-realization. Mother, please give us our self-realization. You can stop moving the hand and bring it back into our lap. We keep our attention where the hand was at the top of our head and sit in meditation now for a few seconds. We will bring our attention to our palms, to our hands. See, the very center of our palms, we feel cool breeze coming out, maybe from one hand or both of them. It could be hot as well. Now we bring our attention to the end of our fingers, the tips of our fingers. See if there is a prickling sensation on a few of them, like an ant walking, or if there is cold or hot feeling on these fingers, or they could be some of them could be getting one hand heavy. All this has happened because the Kundalini started working inside of us. Now we bring our right hand once again on the top of our head where we had placed it before, the fontanelle bone area, and raise it a few inches above our head. Just a couple of inches above our head. Move it front and back, left and right. You will see if there is a cool breeze coming out and touching our hand from a particular place. It's a very subtle feeling. So look at it very subtle, in a very subtle way. Could also be hot in the beginning. We'll see the same thing now with our left hand. We'll bring the right hand back into our lap and use the left hand the same way, just above the fontanelle bone area. Move it front, back, left, right. You see from a particular place, you'll feel cool breeze coming and touching your hand. Now, as a last step, we'll put both our hands completely towards the sky, elbows straight, palms open towards the sky, and our head pushed back. We'll ask one of these three questions 3 times. Oh God, is this the Param Chaitanya? Is this the power of love of God that is running the whole world? Is this the divine energy, cosmic energy? You can ask any one of these questions 3 times. Now we'll bring our hands back into our lap. And in answer, we would see the vibrations have improved. We'll sit in quiet meditation for a few more seconds. And slowly open our eyes and look at Shree Mataji's photograph. You will see that there are no thoughts right now. Even with our eyes open, we are in meditation. This is the first step, the first boon that we get thoughtless awareness with Vichara Chetna. We'll bring both our hands together in a namaskar and thank our Kundalini and Shree Mataji for this blissful experience. For those of you who have joined us for first or second time, would request you to continue this for some time to establish the experience. In Sahaja Yoga, there are various things to learn, to protect ourselves, to bring us into balance, to cleanse ourselves. All of that can be learned by joining us. How to do that, Devi will tell you now. Jai Shree Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Who have joined this session first time, please subscribe to our channel. In YouTube live chat box, we have sent 4 links. First link is our WhatsApp group link. Please join our WhatsApp group. From that, you can get all the notification and everything about Sahaja Yoga, chakras and Nadi. So you will get information about that. And second link is Zoom meeting link. Who have any question can join Zoom meeting link and ask their question. You can write your questions in the YouTube live chat box. We try to get answer to your queries, and if you want to share your experience, then also you can join Zoom meeting link, or you can share your experience by writing in YouTube live chat box. Third and fourth link are channels link. On YouTube, we have 2 channels. First is for online meditation, and the same link on which you are attending online meditation. Second one is for Shree Mataji speeches. Both the channels are completely non-commercialized, non-monetized. Advertisement options has been closed on both the channels. We are saying to subscribe, we are asking for subscribing because you will get all the notifications on the timely basis and you may not miss any of the sessions. And also please share this link to the seekers who are searching for their self-realization and want to realize spiritual and God's vibes. So please share this link with actual seekers. And and on our channel you will find short videos on each nadi and chakra, which is very short and informative. You will get all the information about nadi and chakra from that videos, so please watch that videos. And in description box you will find one tutorial video link. From that you can see how to do food soaking, how to do bandhan, which is necessary in Sahaja Yoga. So please watch that video as well. And on this channel, 3 sessions of self-realization has been conducted on a every day. First is on 8 a.m. in the morning. Second is in noon, 4:15 p.m. And third is in evening, 7:45 p.m. You can attend any session as per your availability. And seekers who have complete knowledge about chakra and nadis can join our deep meditation session, which is held on 5 p.m. every day. But yeah, there is no question.
Let's take Shree Mataji's permission and move on.
Thank you so much, Shree Mataji, for today's session. If we have like any wrong things or anything which is not correct, please forgive us. Thank you so much. We are ending this session now. So, Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri.